One of the most influential groups arose from the 1960s. They came out of San Francisco, paved the way for psychedelic rock, and were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1996. They also received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 2016, along with multi-platinum status. Totally honored to have the founder and original lead singer of Jefferson Airplane here today, Marty Balin. Thank you so much for being here, Marty.
My pleasure.
Well, Marty, let's just get right into it, okay? San Francisco, the 1960s. You had already recorded 2 singles. You joined the Town Criers. 1965 comes along, and then you form a group. Bring us exactly to how Jefferson Airplane started.
Well, I wanted to work with electricity and drums, and the clubs I had played in San Francisco wouldn't hire me because of the electricity and drums. And then one day I got an opportunity sitting in a folk club to hear these guys were investing some money. And I just said, give it to me. And they said, what will you do with it? I said, I'll open a nightclub. I'll build a band to play in it. You keep the nightclub and I'll keep the band. And that's how it started.
You keep the nightclub and I'll keep the band. Good. That was a good decision, Marty. Now, you guys took off so fast, though. You played the Monterey Festival in 67, Woodstock in 69, as well as Altamont that same year. You also played the first Isle of Wight Festival in 68. Now, you got to hang out with icons. You hung out with Hendrix, Joplin, The Dead, Jim Morrison. Yeah. What was it like for you guys to not only hang out with these people, but to also get your success that fast?
Well, it was fantastic because we were part of that whole new rock movement, and we were representative of the West Coast. And Bill Graham came out and opened all the clubs, big dance halls, and other people did too. And there was lots of places to play then, and it just took off, it was just fun. And bands, all kinds of bands. And New York had some too, and LA had some. And, it was just a vibrant music scene go on.
Oh, yeah. The history that you have with you, Marty, is absolutely incredible. And can you give us a good Jim Morrison story?
Well, one time me and Jim were at the Anaheim Concert Hall waiting to go on between shows, and we were talking about Disneyland nearby, and we decided to go over. So we got in our limousines and drove over and got out, and these suits, guards completely surrounded us and wouldn't let us go in, because they had grooming laws, and you couldn't have long hair, wear beads, stuff like that. And so we went back to the Coliseum and called our respective record companies, and they cleared it for us. And then we went back and we went in, and we had these shoots, guards all around us, and it just was a bummer. And so Jim and I said, let's get out of here, go get a drink. So we never saw Disneyland.
You never saw Disneyland, right?
Yeah.
Now, Marty, you guys made it. You were all so successful during this time, but you still were doing free shows for your fans in between the paid gigs. Now, were these free shows politically driven because of the times, or did you just do these because?
Yeah, it was, we have this beautiful park in San Francisco, and one thing we used to do is we'd play a concert in some town, Detroit or Chicago or something, and we'd announce that tomorrow, Sunday, we're going to play this so-and-so park, and it's free, so everybody come out, and everybody would come out with their kids and picnic baskets, and it was the best gig of all, a free one.
Now, why was that, though?
Because it was free.
Free for them, but what did that do for you as a performer, knowing that your fans weren't paying to see you?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was, if you do this kind of stuff and you don't have fans, it was kind of lonely, actually.
Well, now let's go back to Woodstock, Marty. You guys were supposed to perform on Saturday night, and you didn't end up going on stage until like 8 o'clock Sunday morning. The Who had just finished. You guys go on stage. Tell us all about that.
Well, the thing about following the Who was once you got up there, all the mics were ruined and busted up, and the electronics were torn up, and they crashed everything, and the big show. So it was kind of strange to kind of follow them.
So what did you do with the mics were smashed and the stage was a mess? How did that work?
Oh, we just did it, 8 in the morning. Who cares?
Now, was anyone awake when you guys performed?
No.
No.
I wasn't.
What were you guys doing that whole weekend? Just give us a picture of how that weekend
looked. Well, there was a hotel, motel up the hill, and everybody stayed there. And for the 3 days, and you'd hop on a helicopter and fly into a concert and hang out, with the bands that were playing and the people selling stuff, and just roam about and go back on the helicopter. And we played cards a lot in the motel, and that was fun,
Oh, absolutely.
And waiting for our time to go on.
And that was it. You just kind of hung out, had a good time, and
yeah, it was kind of rainy and wet,
Oh, wow. So, Marty, the band was touring. You were on a high, literally. You're doing great. Why did you end up leaving in 71?
Well, because the cocaine came in, and everybody was on cocaine. You couldn't talk to anybody or work with anybody, and everybody was God's gift to man, and even the roadies thought they were God's gift to man. It just was boring. And I thought, excuse me,
Bless you.
I thought that conveyed itself across the stage, because my band was totally falling apart. So, it was embarrassing. So I just left.
You just left. Now, how was that when you left? Did you just not show up, or did you tell them, listen?
No, I told everybody I was leaving.
And what did they do?
Nothing. They didn't care.
They didn't care?
They were on cocaine. They were God's gift to people. They couldn't care about me if I spit in their face. Really.
Wow. You did seem like the cool one, Marty. You did.
Well, I was just getting a chance to practice my singing. That's, what I did it for.
Now, when you left, you went back when they were Jefferson Starship. You did Count on Me, Miracles. That became the band's highest charting song. Then there was With Your Love, Runaway. How is it to be back with them and to have gotten back on the charts?
Oh, that was great. Great feat, I thought. Wonderful, But it didn't change anybody in the Starship. It was still lots of cocaine, and everybody thought they were God's gift to man, and that was boring again until I left again.
Really? So nothing had changed? It was still the same?
Yeah, it was the same thing.
Wow. Now, Grace left.
I had more fun playing in my local bands at home than I did on the road with them,
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, Grace left in 78. You did too. Now, did you have any regrets after that, after you left?
No.
Really? Nothing?
No. I mean, I would have liked to have done things differently, but, unfortunately, drugs came along and kind of ruined everybody's attitude.
You guys, you were the forerunners, really, of classic rock, psychedelic rock, Summer of Love. What is the biggest story that you carry with you today from the whole Summer of Love?
Well, for me, it was a beautiful movement at the time, I mean, we were against the war, and women were coming out, gay people were coming out, especially in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And artists were painting and posters and light shows and, my God, clothes. And, it was just a stimulating place to be,
Absolutely.
That I remember greatly, and glad I didn't miss it,
You're pretty fortunate, man. You really are.
Yeah.
Now, in 1983, when you were on the Dick Clark Show, you said that the best piece of advice you could give at that time was to follow your heart. Would you give that same piece of advice today?
Oh, yeah. Sure. If you ain't singing from your heart, making music from the heart, you're just a cover band, basically.
You're right. You're right. Now, you reunited with your former bandmate, Paul Kantner. You did several projects with him over the years. I'm so sorry for the loss of your friend a couple of years ago. Now, do you keep in touch with anyone else that you used to work with from the band? Have you spoken with Grace?
Yeah, I have. Spoke with her a couple of times. She's a painter now, yeah.
So now today, are you still writing and performing for your fans? Tell us about that. What do you do?
I just finished an album, and I always started the next album. I had so much material lined up, I just decided to put all it down for my fans and probably go out in the coming fall, and play them for them. Nice.
Now, what is a good story you can tell us from some of the fans that may have seen you years ago that you've seen recently? Did someone come up to you and tell you a story that really stuck with you?
I mean, I don't remember. I just was, if you remember the 60s, you weren't there.
That's right. How about recently, though, Marty? Like, does anyone, come up to you after your shows that you do now and say, hey, I remember you from here? Or
Oh, yeah. They come up and tell me, that song changed my life, and that song was important when I had my kid. My father wanted to play the funeral, and, things like that, and wow, I remember that stuff. Yeah, I get a lot of that when I play, because I incorporate some of the old stuff,
And your voice is still really nice. I mean, do you rehearse daily, or what do you do to keep it nice?
I rehearse once a week with the guys.
Well, everyone, you can visit martybalinmusic.com to stay in touch with Marty, keep track of what he's doing. And honestly, Marty, it is just amazing what you've given, what you've seen through your lifetime, and what you've accomplished. And we thank you so much for sharing a piece of your history.
Thank you for having me.
Really, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, so grateful to have you here. Thank you, Marty.
All right, bye-bye.